Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing I left my headphones on. Oh, that's really unprofessional. Man, I really don't want to start this take again. I got it. Watch this. Perfect. You guys didn't know I was a magician, did you? Anyway, in this video, we're going to be discussing Bitcoin because right now, Bitcoin is testing a very important uptrend of support. We just had a little bit of a bearish breakout and a rejection around $10,000 yesterday. We're testing this very important level of support. So in today's video, we're going to be diving into the question, is Bitcoin going to hold on the uptrend that you see on the 4-hourly chart, or is Bitcoin going to break that uptrend and cause a further correction on Bitcoin, potentially leading into a new downtrend? We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video, guys. We have quite a lot to get to today. We're talking moving averages, crosses, altcoins, trend lines, market dominance, market capitalization, head and shoulders patterns, other kinds of patterns. We have a lot to talk about in today's video, so we're going to dive into it pretty quickly here. But before we get into all of that, I do first want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, because as you guys know, the Valentine's Day sale will be running for a few more days, and this is the last time that you will ever get CT2A for this price. The course price will be rising to $249. This is the last time that you will ever get CT2A on sale this inexpensive. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about cryptocurrency, the link is down below. More on that at the end of the video, but for now though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, this video almost didn't get made because this morning I made me a bacon egg sandwich on toast with butter, and guys, not only did I almost forget to make today's video, I almost forgot how to breathe. It was so good. You guys got to try that. Maybe I'll bring you in for that one day. But for now, though, we need to dive on into the analysis. Because as you can see, Bitcoin has been respecting this uptrend right here ever since, the beginning of the year. So some might say that that is an important uptrend of support. As we can see, it connects this bottom right here to this bottom right here. We almost came down and touched it right here, and Bitcoin has fallen over the last 24 hours or so to come down and test it again. Not trying to say I told you so, but I told you so. Everybody was making fun of me saying, Jeb, you shouldn't be expecting a big correction. Jeb, you're being a bear. Jeb, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been saying that we needed some kind of correction and that we were overbought on the RSI for days now. Thank you very much. And honestly, guys, I'm not totally sure that this is the end of it. The reason is this. One of the greatest ways to do technical analysis is honestly the simplest, and that would have to do with candlesticks. Let's look at what the market has done over these last 4-hourly candlesticks. One, we saw a very big red candlestick that fell all the way down here, and then in the same 4 hours, the bulls rallied us back up to right here, leaving us with a very big red body. Not a great start. Next thing we saw was a spinning top right here, as we saw a very tall upper shadow and a very long lower shadow. Likewise, not what you want to see when Bitcoin was already in a well-defined uptrend. You don't want to see a spinning top because a spinning top signals indecision, and indecision is one step closer to bearish than bullish is. Do you understand what I'm saying there? Okay, so we saw a big red candlestick, we saw a spinning top, and then we saw a couple of green candlesticks and what some would call a bull doji, which, that looked healthy. We saw a green candlestick that didn't rally as far as the top of the red one, which is unfortunate, which means that this is kind of an inverse bearish engulfing candlestick. But then following that, we saw a green candlestick that rallied above the open of the red. Okay, so that's not terrible. Problem here is these last 3 candlesticks. As you can see, we have had a significant amount of red over the last 12 hours, which has brought us down to that level of support once again. And as for those of you guys who have watched our new video on support and resistance here in the Academy, you will know when Bitcoin tests the same level of support or resistance multiple times in a short time frame, that generally means that level of support or resistance is going to break. We've tested this uptrend once, twice, you could argue 3 times right here, and a 4th time, which we're testing it right now. And also, one more thing very important to notice is that Bitcoin started this little market movement, this little section of market is this long. We started it with an open at $10,235, and the highest that we rallied to was $10,049. That is a very significant sign that the bears are stronger than the bulls, because if the bulls were stronger than the bears, we would have rallied back up here above the open of the red that started this movement. Okay, so that was a little bit much, but if you're doing short-term analysis, if you're doing scalping, for example, it's very important that you look at the structure of the candlesticks, and it's one of the best pieces of analysis that we can do on the market right now. It's not making me very bullish on Bitcoin. One thing I do also want to mention is that there is some convergence of support going on right now, because as we can see, Bitcoin's 104-hourly simple moving average is sitting right below here at around $9,800, and on the daily chart, our 20 EMA has been almost perfectly rallying alongside that uptrend of support. It's currently sitting around $9,700 as well. So even though it kind of looks like Bitcoin wants to break bearish here, there is a lot of support beneath it, so that might not happen. One thing to mention also is that that uptrend uptrend that we've been watching on the RSI for the last 2 months has now been broken quite substantially. There's no arguing that is significant. That is definitely a break. Bitcoin has pulled back to around 59 on the RSI, which, guys, that is exactly what I wanted. Go back on any video that I've made in the last week and a half, and I've been saying, guys, I want Bitcoin to have a correction that corrects the RSI down to 50, 60. I want to see Bitcoin come down to the 20 EMA. What just happened? That is exactly what I've been asking for and saying was going to happen for over a week now. I'm not even going to make Taylor put a flashback in here. I've said it in almost literally every single video I've made in the last week. And one thing I also want to mention is that we do have our golden cross coming in here on the daily chart, but I want to point something out with golden crosses. I never said that golden crosses were short-term bullish signals. In fact, if you go back a couple videos, I was talking about how in the short term they can actually be bearish. The reason I say that is because look at this last golden cross that we had back over here in the 22nd of April 2019. We had a rally, and the day following, guess what happened? We pulled back 7%. It wasn't a short-term bullish technical. It was a long-term bullish technical. So I want to make sure you guys are clear on that. Golden crosses are very bullish, but they're not necessarily very bullish on the short term. I could see this correction lasting a little bit longer. Why is that? Well, very simply, guys, during bull markets, Bitcoin likes to have corrections down here to our 20 weekly exponential moving average. You can see this happen many times here in the 2016-17 bull market with corrections right here, corrections right there, right in here, right here, right here. Pretty much every time Bitcoin had a major correction, it fell down to the 100 daily simple and the 20 weekly EMA. So that means based on historical analysis, we should either be going down to $8,185 or $8,700 where that weekly 20 EMA is. I'm going to rule out this bottom estimate because right now Bitcoin is still trying to realign its moving averages. The 100 is supposed to be above the 200 during a bull market, and it's not quite there yet. We're going to get there. We're still early in the bull market, so I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to come down here. There's plenty of support above that Bitcoin would get support at, yeah. But I could definitely see Bitcoin pulling back to the 20 weekly exponential moving average, which, like I said, is down here around $8,700. I would be very happy to see that. If we do see that, however, what I want to see happen is I want to see that happen over the course of a couple of weeks, because I don't want to see Bitcoin just crash straight through the floor, and like we were talking about earlier with candlestick analysis, see the close of the red down here below the open of this green candlestick. I want to see it take its time. So what does all of this mean for Bitcoin? Well, guys, Bitcoin and its altcoin comrades have been in an uptrend for the last 2 months, and they are in dire need of a correction. We saw one start on Ethereum and Bitcoin yesterday. I don't think they're done yet, though. A lot of you guys saw yesterday's video on Ethereum, and I predicted a crash in the next 1 to 14 days, and I should have said the next 0 to 14 days because literally an hour after the video went out, exactly what I called for happened. Bitcoin is trading up here at $282, and I said Bitcoin was most likely going to stop around $282 to $284, and we were going to have a correction. We're now trading at $257. I said it would probably be a 10, 20, 30% move. In the span of a day, we've already moved 8%. I also said that Ethereum's RSI was massively overbought, and 88 on the RSI was indicating that there was almost certainly going to be a correction within the next few days because of that. And as you can see, that RSI has updated, and we're now sitting around 70, exactly where I said it would go to as well. I said it'd probably go to between 60 and 70. And by the way, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm saying it because I want to show you what's going to happen on Bitcoin as well, because I'm making the same prediction over here. Bitcoin was pretty extended on its RSI. We were sitting up at 74. Yesterday, before this correction, we were sitting at 70. Just like on Ethereum, we've been in a long-term sustained uptrend. Just like in Ethereum, I think we're getting overbought. Just like in Ethereum, the bears have not had their day. They have not had an opportunity to buy off the market. So just like in Ethereum, I think Bitcoin's going to have a bit larger of a correction. I'm not saying it's going to be massive. It might not even go back down to that 20 weekly EMA, because one thing to remember is that that weekly candlestick updates in about 8 hours from recording this video, which means that this 20 EMA, instead of being around $8,700, is actually probably going to be around $8,800. I could see Bitcoin pulling back between $9,000 and $9,500 over the next 7 days. That is my prediction on Bitcoin. Now, one thing I want to mention before I go any farther is also this. If Bitcoin does have that correction like I think it's going to, and by the way, guys, let's look at the 5-minute chart. Bitcoin is trying to break a bearish right now, as you can see. It might have already broken bearish by the time this video goes out. On the 4-hourly chart, if Bitcoin does break bearish here, it does leave us in a little bit of a precarious spot. One, it means that there has clearly been a trend reversal. You could argue it's already started because we're putting a similar low right here in. But if we do have a trend reversal, it means this is going to be a left shoulder, this is going to be a head, and then we could very easily have a shoulder right here. So keep that in mind. If Bitcoin does bounce right here, look for it coming up to around $10,200 to $10,400 and then correcting, because that would be a head and shoulders pattern. I wouldn't be very happy to see that. I would rather Bitcoin correct right now to eliminate the possibility of there being an H&S pattern. So guys, at the end of the day, this is what matters. Bitcoin is more than likely in for a correction over the next few days. There's nothing unhealthy or wrong about that. We might pull back to $9,700, which is where our 20 daily EMA is. We might even pull back all the way down to around $9,000. Somewhere in there, we're going to find Bitcoin have a bottom more than likely. We're still in a bull market, remind you. The very short-term trend I'm talking on the 4-hourly and the daily chart is looking a little bit bearish. It looks like a trend reversal is happening. The longer-term trend on the weekly chart and on the daily chart, if you look at longer-term technical analysis, is looking very healthy. The future of this market looks great. The next several months look fantastic. I am not by any stretch bearish on the longer-term time frames for Bitcoin. That being said, Bitcoin has been in a bull market and in a rally for the last 2 months, and we've barely had any kind of correction to speak of, and I think it is now time that we do that. So guys, this doesn't even mean go short the market, because the bottom might be $200 below us, it might be $800 below us, but it's hard to tell exactly where it's going to be. It's probably not going to be more than $1,500 below us. What it does mean, on the other hand, is that this might be a good opportunity to be looking for longer-term buy-in positions. I'm looking for places to invest in Bitcoin. I want to get my dirty, grubby little hands on as much Bitcoin as I possibly can while Bitcoin is having this correction. I'm really looking forward to stocking up my bags even more. Why not? So to put a bow on this video, don't freak out. Don't lose your mind. Bitcoin is not entering a bear market. Don't FUD out of the market and run away. It's going to be fine. We just need a correction. There's nothing unhealthy about that. So, keep your head on. So anyway, guys, that is going to more or less wrap out this video. Before I go, there is just one more thing I want to talk about, and that's just working on something for a long time. I don't really have a catchy or an attractive intro to this idea. I'm just going to dive into it because something amazing has happened in my life over the last 2.5 years. This channel, the fact that you are watching this video right now is a result of 2.5 years of work on my part and on Taylor's part and on the part of our viewers, because believe me, the first 2 years of this channel, it was work watching these videos. Some say it still is. Nevertheless, something awesome has really started happening here on the YouTube channel over the last couple of months, and I'm really excited about it. I'll tell you what I'm excited about. I'm excited that I'm excited about it. We've been putting a lot of work into the channel. We got the new microphone, new studio, new office, new camera. There's a bunch of stuff you don't know about, like the sound mixer over here, which I love. This thing is awesome. I mean, guys, I've even managed to have coffee every day, and that's, that's always a win. What am I getting at? Well, guys, the reason that I'm saying this is because I want to point out something that I've learned recently, and that is that when you work on something that you have a passion for, even if you don't have a passion for it in the moment, over an extended period of time, eventually you're going to really enjoy what you do. I really enjoy making these videos every day. It's the highlight of my day when I get to sit down talking to this camera and act like I'm a sociopathic, crazy person who speaks to himself. My neighbors probably think I'm nuts. But then after I do this, 5,000 to 10,000 of you guys go and watch the video, and that is just so crazy to me that I've managed to make this into my livelihood. And first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who have supported the channel so far. It means a lot to me. Don't think that that's something I don't think about. I think about it all the time. But I also want you guys to know that when you have a dream, when you have a passion, when you have something you want to work on it. Work your ass off on it. It's taken me a long time to build this channel, and there's a lot more room to grow. There's a lot of things that we need to do better, and it's going to take time. But it's because it takes time that it's rewarding. It's not in spite that it takes time that it's rewarding. It's because it takes time that it's rewarding. If it had taken me a month to accumulate everything that we have now, it wouldn't have been as special. But the fact that we've been working on this for nearly 3 years makes it all the more rewarding. You can do anything you put your mind to. Just make sure you actually are putting your mind to it. And with that said, guys, before we wrap the video out, I do first want to mention CT2A. Because, guys, as you know, it is not free to run this channel. This is not just some guy in his bedroom making YouTube videos anymore. There's a lot of expenses that go into the production of these videos, and CT2A, our amazing course, is what helps to support that. There are over 10 hours of content in CT2A, and last week we updated 3 of the videos here because we're working on the CT2A update. How to set up and use TradingView, support and resistance, and CoinMarketCap, and more. All 3 phenomenal videos, and I'm extremely happy with how they've turned out, and I'm extremely proud of Taylor for the work that she's put in to make them that high quality. Good job, Taylor. Guys, C2A is the brainchild of 3 years of working every single day in these markets. I know what I'm talking about. Hopefully the analysis that we just did proved that. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis in a way that will allow you to be profitable and successful in these markets, because this is honestly one of the most profitable industries that you could be in, it is paramount that you invest in your education so that you know what you're doing moving forward. You don't want to be in this space 20 years from now and say, damn it, I could have made a bunch of money back then and I didn't do it because I didn't invest in my education. You don't want to be that person. Go to a retirement home, see people that are in their last years of their life and see how many regrets they have. Do you want to be that person? I try to live a life where I have no regrets. And one thing that I have never regretted is getting in on cryptocurrency and studying the living daylights out of it as much as I have, because now I have an extremely profitable skill and I've set myself up and my family up for a sustainable and stable future because of what we've been able to do here in cryptocurrency. And I want to teach you guys how to do that. If you want to learn technical analysis so that you can profit in these markets while also helping to support this channel, the link is in the description down below. You need to hurry up though, because this is the last time CT2A will ever be on sale for this price. You are more than welcome to buy CT2A after the price is increased. I would be perfectly okay with that, but for your sake, I would say you should probably join now so that you get an even bigger discount. Use coupon code Valentine's Day 2020 in checkout, no apostrophe. That link is in the description down below, so too is that coupon code. Feel free to email me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And please, go talk to our students in our free Discord server, see what they have to say about CT2A and about the new videos. Remember, the TradingView video is actually a free preview. If you go to our website, you can watch the entire video to see what the rest of the course is going to be like. But anyway, guys, with all that said, if you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. But anyway, with all of that said, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting hitting that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment. I love reading comments. I read every single one of them. I'm serious. There's over 100,000 comments on this channel. I could show you the statistic, but I'm not going to. If I put a heart next to your comment, I did read it. I don't get to respond to all of them, but I do read them. So go ahead and leave a comment. I love reading those, guys. But anyway, that is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. I do first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, though. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.